Now we're going to take a look at a pretty basic submission from the mount, the S-Armbar. I've done something right. I've gotten to mount. Awesome. Now I'm going to make Marty pay. Alright? The first thing I want to do is start to isolate these arms. So I'm going to do what I call the baby seal. Alright? I'm going to take my fists, I'm going to put them to the floor, and I'm going to walk my knees up and squeeze them. You see how that isolates his arms? It brings them up really great. Alright? If he keeps his arms crossed, he stays in nice and tight, you'll still be able to do this no problem. Now I'm going to take my hand in here, I'm going to come across for a cross grip. Awesome. One of the things that people do that mess up here is they try to just rotate now that they have this cross grip. That's not good enough. Guys, take this elbow, stuff it, and put your back on top of that tricep. Stay nice and tight. So the beginning transition, if you're down here, you're staying nice and tight, you give them those fists on the outside of the shoulders, you walk your knees forward. From here, I come under, nice and tight. Now this hand that's out to the side is got to dominate the far elbow. Turn. I'm here, I dominate the far elbow, and I switch. Notice I brought my knee up to his ear first, and my ankle is across the far side. The great thing about this arm bar is it isolates that arm nice and high. Even if he switched arms here, I would still have that space to get my arm through. Now this looks a lot like that lazy arm bar, but we're taking it from very high up, which is a little bit different. You know, the setup was a lot more technical, a lot tighter. You know, not always required, but sometimes it is. So that arm is through, I'm grabbing my thigh, over top of the head, and I sit into the pocket. From here, I'll squeeze my knees and fall back. Again, same aim. Mounted, give him the baby seal. Move up, squeeze with my knees. Underneath, my body's low. Come over and control. Watch me rotate that knee up to his ear and switch. Nice and tight. Controlling that ankle underneath his shoulder. Hand comes over, lay down, control, take that arm bar. Again, another angle. I'm in that mount position. I hit him with the baby seal. Club the baby seal, I guess? Yeah, we'll do that. Club the baby seal. Down, club it. Come up, control, nice and low. This arm comes over. A lot of times I'll put my chest, my stomach on his face. Control here. Now, I start to rotate that knee towards the head, and this foot comes down underneath the shoulder. Make sure it's nice and tight. If it only comes out here, you can let go of that arm to pull it in. It has to be nice and tight. That's part of the S, guys. From here, I'll control. If he doesn't have his arms crossed over this way and it's nice and far out, if you control by the wrist, he can never reclose his arms. But you don't have as much control over this. If he bumps the elbow in, you're in trouble. I prefer, I stay pretty tight. You know, I practice this a lot. I prefer to come out here by the wrist because then he can't recross his arms ever, and that's good. But realize there's some dangers. The further out you come on the arm, the less control you have when he bumps you. You might lose the position. Another problem, okay, if you lose that position, is that when you guys come here, if you lose it, you know, here, we can maintain top position. Some of you guys will come here, and if you lose it, you're screwed, okay? So that's why I'm a big advocate for tapping first on him, and then falling into that pocket. Make sure that you stay nice and tight with your hips if you're going to come up here by the wrist, and stay nice and tight.